Good morning, students. In previous class we have learnt line spectrum of hydrogen. So today we will discuss about Bose model for hydrogen atom. Okay. So in 1913 Niels Bohr explained the hydrogen atom structure and its spectrum. Okay. He derived some postulates. So these are very important. So first postulate he explained the electron for the hydrogen atom can move around the nucleus. Okay, so it is a, for example, it is a nucleus. The electrons can move around the circular paths, These circular paths are called orbits. These circular paths are called orbits. Is very important. Orbits, and these orbits also called stationary states or energy levels, like this. So these are like this. Okay, so n is equal to 1, n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, n is equal to 3. So like this. Okay, so these orbits are also called stationary states or energy levels. Simply we can say that energy levels. Okay, so first postulate that is electrons are moving around the nucleus in a circular paths. That paths are called orbits or stationary states. So these stationary states are represented by n equal to 1, 2, 3, so on. Okay, or K, L, M, N, O, like this. Okay, so these are, so n is also called principal quantum number. In higher classes you will learn briefly. Okay, so here you remember that principal quantum number, n is a principal quantum number. So these circular paths are represented by n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, or n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Okay, so this is the first postulate. And very important point, each orbit is associated with definite amount of energy and definite radius. Okay, so this is the radius, and this orbit having a specific amount of energy, that is E1, E2, E3, like this. Okay, and these orbits are associated with definite amount of energies as well as fixed radius. So that's why these paths are called stationary states. Next, so the electron revolve around the nucleus in these circular paths. It does not emit or absorb radiation. Okay, so whenever electron is revolve around the nucleus in a particular orbit, what happened? It does not emit or absorb radiation. But whenever the electron is going from lower energy level to higher energy level, it will absorb energy. Or the electron is going from higher energy level to lower energy level, it will emit energy. Okay, but in these circular paths it does not emit or absorb the energy. But whenever the transition takes place, at that situations energy will be absorbed and energy will be emitted. If the electron is moved from lower energy level to higher energy level, it will absorb. If the electron moving from higher energy level to lower energy level, energy will be emitted. Okay, and this absorbing or emitting energy is equal to the difference between the energy levels. Okay, so that is delta E equal to energy, that means E final energy and minus E initial energy. Sorry, here initial energy and the final energy. So E2 minus E1. and second postulate exhibit the difference between the energy gaps is exactly equal to absorbing or emitting radiation. Next, from this we calculated the frequency of the radiation, that is a nu equal to delta E by H. Delta E is nothing but energy of the final state and energy of the initial state is divided by Planck constant. If you take two energy levels, that is E2 minus E1, that is a final energy state and the initial energy state. Okay. Next, the fourth postulate. The electron revolving in circular paths. It has a angular momentum, and the angular momentum of electron in an orbit is quantized. Okay, so is quantized is very important. Quantized is nothing but that angular momentum having specific values. Okay, and the angular momentum, that is mvr of an electron, is exactly equal to integral multiple of h by 2 pi. So from this angular momentum, or from this equation, we can conclude that, or we can observe that angular momentum of an electron is quantized. Quantized means h by 2 pi is multiple with integers. If the integer numbers are there, we can observe that, so that property is quantized. For example, you remember that Planck's quantum theory. In Planck quantum theory, what happened? Energy absorbing or emitting in the form of discrete manner is nothing but quantized. So energy is h nu is multiple with integers is nothing but energy is quantized. Okay, so like this, here is also angular momentum of electron is also quantized. So these are the postulates of Bohr's atomic model. So first postulate is electron is revolve around the nucleus in a circular path, so that paths are called orbits or stationary states, and these orbits or stationary states having a definite amount of energy as well as fixed radius. Okay, and these stationary states are represented by n is equal to 1, 2, 3 like this. Okay, or K shell, L shell, M shell, N shell like this, and here n is called principal quantum number. This is the first postulate, and the second one is, if the electron revolve around these circular paths, it does not emit or absorb radiation. But whenever it is a transition, whenever these electrons are transition between the electronic energy levels, what happened? Energy will be absorbed as well as energy will be emission. So energy will be absorbed is nothing but electron move from lower energy level to higher energy level. Energy will be released is nothing but electron move from the higher energy level to lower energy level, and the absorbing or emitting radiation is exactly equal to delta I. That means exactly equal to difference between the two energy levels, that is delta E. Final, that is a final minus initial, that is E2 minus E1, the delta E is equal to h nu. From this third postulate, from this we calculated the frequency of the radiation, frequency of the absorbing or emitting radiation, that is delta E by h. H is a Planck constant, and the fourth postulate is a angular momentum of the electron. So the electron revolve around the nucleus. Angular momentum of the electron is quantized. Quantized is nothing but angular momentum is exactly equal to the integral multiple of h by 2 pi. Here n is equal to, what is the n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, like. Okay, so angular momentum is quantized, is very important. Quantized means it's having a specific values. Angular momentum having a specific values, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Okay, so these are the postulates of Bohr's atomic model. Here m is mass of electron, v is velocity of electron, r is radius of an orbit, h is a Planck constant, and n is a integer number. It is nothing but principal quantum number, that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. So next one is Bohr's theory for hydrogen atom. So Bohr calculated the radius of the stationary state and energy of the stationary state, as well as velocity of electron also calculated. Okay, he explained the stationary states for electron are n equal to 1, 2, 3, so on. So these are the stationary states. These are the stationary states, and it is also the here n is also called, already we know that is a principal quantum number. Principal quantum number. And these are 1, 2, 3. These are the stationary states. Now first he calculated the radius of the stationary state. So radius of the nth stationary state, he explained Rn equals n square a naught. So this is the nth stationary state radius. So here where a naught equals 52.9 picometers. Now from this we calculated the first stationary state radius. How much here? First stationary state. So first stationary state n value equal to 1 for the first stationary state. So now here 1 square a naught. A naught how much the? Here 52.9 picometer. So 1 square means 1 into a naught means 52 point. So this is a first stationary state radius. So this radius is also called Bohr orbit. Bohr orbit, and the value is 52.9 picometers. Okay, for hydrogen atom. So now find out the radius of the stationary state. For example, here first hydrogen atom containing the number of states. Hydrogen atom containing the here n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3, so on. Okay, so from this we calculated the first n equal to 1 first stationary state. For example, n equal to 1, this is a first stationary state radius. So r1 equal to n square into a naught. N square means 1 square into a naught. How much? The 52.9 picometers. Okay, so 1 square means 1 into, so 52.9. So finally 52.9 picometer for hydrogen atom. In which stationary state? First stationary states. First stationary state radius. So this is a first stationary state radius in hydrogen atom. Or we can explain here, for example, it is a nucleus. So these are the stationary state. So first stationary state radius, how much? 52.9 picometers. Next, if n value is increases, what happened? Radius also increases. Okay, for example, it is a n is equal to 1. Next, n is equal to 2. So radius also increases. If the n is equal to 3, what happened? So principal, as the principal quantum number increases, stationary state radius also increases. So this is the relationship. So n value increases, R value also increases. So second calculated the energy of the stationary state. So he derived and the principle an equation. Okay, he derived an equation that is a En equals negative sign of RH 1 by n square. So here n is equal to stationary states. So this is the equation he derived. Okay, so from this RH here, RH is called Rydberg constant and the value is 2.18 into 10 to the power of minus 18 joules. Okay, so generally here, so number of energy levels are there. So in number of energy levels, the lowest energy level is called ground state. What is that? Ground state or ground state energy level. The lowest energy state is called ground state. So in these energy levels, what is the ground state? N is equal to 1 is a ground state. Okay, so for this ground state, the energy value, that means E1 equal to minus RH. How much the here? 2.18 into 10 to the power of minus 18 joules. And how much the N is equal to 1. So here 1 square. Okay, so finally the value is minus 2.18 into 10 to the power of minus 18 joules. For which energy levels? So this is a E1 energy level. Sorry, N1 and N1 energy level energy or N1 stationary state energy. 2, 3, 4. So now the energy we calculated E1. Next calculated of E2 energy. So here what happened from this E2? E2 means is a minus 2.18 into 10 to the power of minus 18 1 by here N is equal to how much? 2. That means 2 square joules. So the finally the value is minus 0.545 into 10 to the power of minus 18 joules. This is the E2 value. So here E2 value, how much the E2 value here? Minus 0.545 into 10 to the power of minus 18 joules. So here E1 values is a minus 2.18 into 10 to the power of minus 18 joules. This is the E1 value and the E2 value. Okay, so he calculated the stationary state energies is also he calculated. Okay, next the negative sign of importance of negative sign is very important. For example, here you take a nucleus and these are the energy states or stationary states. Okay, so whenever the electron is free from the influence of the nucleus is nothing but that energy is taken as a 0. For example, here infinity, n is equal to infinity level. That means there is no influence, there is no attraction between the nucleus and the electrons. So at that situation energy will be 0. When electron is come to the influence of the nucleus, what happened? The electron is present in nth orbital, or the electron is present in n orbit, and the energy will be emitted. At these situations the energy will be emitted. Why? Because here energy will be emitted because the electron is influenced by the nucleus. That's why energy will be released. But whenever there is no attraction between the nucleus and the electrons, energy will be 0. But whenever it is a come to the influence by the nucleus, energy will be released. Energy will be released nothing but the sign is negative. Okay, so negative sign indicates that energy will be released or energy will be lowered comparing to the free electron state. So that's why reason the presence of negative signs in the equation. That's why the presence of negative sign is very, very important, because energy will be released whenever the electron is contact with the nucleus. That means attraction by the nucleus. Okay, so this is a very, very important. So negative sign, significance of negative sign is very, very important. Next, finally, so electron velocity is also he derived. In higher classes you will discuss it in briefly, but here we some relation is there. So that is a, so velocity of electron is directly proportional to Z by N. So here Z means atomic number. So how much the atomic number of hydrogen is a 1. So N is already we know that is a stationary states. If the stationary states increases, what happened? Electron velocity will be decreases, because it is a inversely proportional to principal quantum number. Okay, so in higher classes okay, you will learn deeply. So here just a relationship. What is the, if the principal quantum number increases, what happened? Velocity of the electron will be decreases. Okay, and the fourth one, the last one is Bohr theory can also applicable the ions containing the one electron system. For example, here helium plus ions, lithium plus 2 ions, and the beryllium plus 3 ions. So these are one electron system. So these ions containing the one electron. So Bohr's theory can also be applicable to these types of ions. Okay, from this we calculated the energy of the stationary state, that is a 2.18 into 10 to the power of minus 18 Z square by N square joules. So Z square means here atomic number. So you find out the atomic number of helium is 2, and the lithium is 3, the beryllium plus 3 is 4, like this. You substitute in the presence of Z value and you calculated the energy. And as well as radius, that means Rn is equal to 52.9 into N square by Z picometers. Okay, so Bohr's theory can also be applicable to the which ions? So helium plus 2, it is also very, very important. So find out the ions, one electron system ions. Okay, so which ions? Helium plus ion, lithium plus 2 ion, and the beryllium plus 3 ions. So these ions containing the only one electron. Okay, so these are the Bohr's theory for hydrogen atom.